So good afternoon everybody. Karibuni sana kwa webinar yetu ya leo. If you can give the others around 2 minutes so that they can join to answer. So we're planning to start at around 10 minutes past 3. Bear with us. Karibuni sana. So good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for taking your time this wonderful afternoon to join the webinar, whereby today we'll be talking about engaging women in advocating for peaceful campaigns as the countries are approaching the general elections, as Kenya is approaching the general election in August this year. So we want to discuss, first of all, we'll be discussing about the role of women in leadership. Per se, because from the leadership, that's where we're going to derive peace, or we're going to get peace during the elections, because we believe in the power of women. So karibuni sana. Karibu sana Jackie, our panelist for the day. Karibu sana, and thank you for taking your time on behalf of Muslim Women Advancement of Rights and Protection. We appreciate your availability every time we ask you to join this webinars. Karibu sana. So briefly, we'll do a round of introduction as the others join us. And then we are going to start the discussion, and then the others will join us as we continue. So my name is James Chapa. I'm the programs officer at Muslims Women Advancement of Rights and Protection. So if I may read the names from the participants list, we can just take a round of introduction as we continue. So probably John, Mr. John Yeri, you can unmute and introduce yourself. Hello, John. We can't hear you.
Hi everyone. I'm John Yeri, community. Hello.
Yes, you can hear you. Go ahead, John.
Okay, thank you. I'm John Yeri, currently working as a CRP, community resource person with an organization called Kilifi Citizens Forum. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Karibu sana, John. We have Anissa. Probably can unmute and introduce yourself.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
My name is Anissa Menza, Director of Wajibu Community Initiative, an initiative which looks after women affairs and specifically girls and young mothers. We are in Malindi, designated in Ganda Ward.
Welcome very much. I believe this is a platform. Today we'll be discussing about the role of women in promoting peace in the election. So karibu sana, and we'll also get your insights as we continue. Welcome. So next we're going to go to Hafsa Omar. If you can unmute and introduce yourself. Hafsa. Okay, next we're going to go to Zainab as Hafsa is preparing herself. Zainab. Zainab, if you can hear me.
James.
Yes.
Zainab said she has technological challenges speaking, but she can hear us.
Okay, thank you very much. And then we have Honor 50 Lights.
That's me.
Okay. Then go ahead and introduce yourself, madam.
Okay. Thanks, James, for hosting us today, and Jacqueline. My name is Rahma Gulam Abbas. I'm the team leader for Muslim Women Advancement of Rights and Protection. I think this meeting today is very timely. We are going into elections soon. Women and youth have been the ones that for a long time, youth have been used to create violence, and us women have always been used to cheer up for the men. So I think this is our platform today to learn how we are going to maintain peace, but also as women, because the organization promotes and advocates for women issues, how can we as women ensure that those whom we are going to vote for are our fellow women? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Rahma, for those opening remarks and for welcoming everybody on to the meeting. So karibuni sana. We have Jane Mburu. Probably you can introduce yourself and tell us where you are joining us from before you go. Before I invite our panelist, Jacqueline Waweru. So Jane Mburu, if you can unmute. Jen, if you can unmute and introduce yourself. Okay, it seems Jen is not able to speak at the moment. So I'll go straight ahead and introduce our panelists of the day. Madam Jacqueline Waweru, who is a public policy and youth development advocate, and also is the team lead at Leadership for Impact. And she's also the former Miss President in Kilifi County. So karibu sana, Madam Jacqueline Waweru. So Jacqueline.
Yes, James, can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you. Karibu sana for our webinar, and we appreciate you taking time to join us in this webinar today. So probably I've introduced you, but probably I've forgotten some of the kofiyas you wear. You can give a brief introduction of yourself, because I know you have so many titles.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm really happy to be here. James, can I be heard? Because at first my voices were bringing up issues.
Yeah, you are very audible.
Nice. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jacqueline Waweru, team lead Leadership for Impact. Leadership for Impact is a youth-led organization, and our main agenda is mentoring existing and upcoming leaders, especially young women and women at large. James has said Navakofia Nyingi, yeah. So I'm also Miss President Kilifi County under the project Media Focus. I think this comes from a reality show that was aired on KTN, that is around 2019. We were in a competition to see if maybe women can take up the task to be the first female presidents. Again, I also am a youth leader in Kilifi County. I come from Kilifi South, born and raised in Shimolatewa Ward. I'm very passionate about gender issues and sexual reproductive health, but also leadership, and especially among the young people and also women. So I do a lot of advocacy, and I'm also passionate about policy and laws. So I'm happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to a fruitful discussion today, because the matters at hand, as per now, we are preparing for elections, and I would really want to discuss and hear what is going on in the various sub-counties we are in, and also as a nation. But I'm here to learn, and also I'm here to share ideas. So thank you so much, James.
Thank you very much, Jackie, and we are very pleased to be with you today. And we have apologies from Madam Anisa Bubakar, who is the Senior Elections Officer from Kilifi South Sub-County, who was supposed to join us as a panelist also today. But because of as they're preparing the election, the IBC is very busy, and she expressed her sincere apologies. But we're expecting an officer from IBC who might be able to join us before we end the webinar. So Jackie, if you can go straight to the agenda of the day. In Africa, there is a saying that says that the place of a woman is in the kitchen, and women are supposed to be seen and not to be heard. What's your take on that?
James, that's a good one. So actually, women are supposed to not to be heard, but they're supposed to be seen, and our place is in the kitchen.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yes, our place is in the kitchen. Because we do a lot of cooking and all that. God has given us grace to be very good cooks. But again, I feel that being that we are also part of a household, I feel women, we have the power to, to nurture our children and even our household. So that means we do have a place also in terms of the household, because that's where the food comes from. So that's where the decision actually starts from. So for me, I'm saying yes, the place of a woman is in the kitchen, but again, we also need to be part of the key decision making in a household. And that from the household, that means also in terms of society, community, and also as a nation. Because as women, we do have a voice, especially when it comes to the lives of our children, because we give life, one. Two, I think men also need us in terms of the household, because again, a man cannot make decisions alone in the house if a woman is not engaged. And it works well in a family where everyone is engaged. The woman is engaged and is taking part of making decisions, making plans. And I think that's how even in families, you've seen in very good families, most of the women also have the power to make decisions and also to negotiate and give plans. Oh my God.
Hello, Jacqueline. Can you hear us? Pole tumekupoteza.
I heard her say, oh my God, I don't know. I hope everything is okay.
Oh, okay. So let's give her a minute for her. I think alikuwa ameniambia, she had told me that she had a problem with her gadgets. I hope it has not gone off. So as we wait for Jacqueline to rejoin, we are joined by Mr. Raymond Makazi. So please, Mr. Raymond, could you please introduce yourself? I know you have other titles which I have not mentioned.
Hello. Where do I start?
Bwana Raymond. Mr. Raymond, are you able to hear us?
Oh, hi, James.
Yes, Raymond, karibu sana. Please introduce yourself with the numerous kofias that you have?
Kofia ni moja kakangu. But thank you. I'm Raymond Makazi, Senior Election Manager, Magarini constituency. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. Sorry, I'm a bit late. Kidogo tuko in the middle of a program, but nashukuru. I'm happy to be able to join.
Thank you very much, Bwana Raymond, and thank you for the commitment and dedication that you normally give Muslim women advancement of rights and protection this women. Karibu sana. Jackie is trying to reconnect through another device. So we are going to give let's give a minute or so for her to be able to rejoin. So Madam Anissa, you also say that you are working with women through Wajibu Community Initiative. What's your take on the issue that the voice of women are only to be seen and not to be heard? Madam Anissa, are you here?
Well, yeah, James, I think that's a mentality which has been imposed into when we are being socialized. Yes. Wakati wavulana wakianza kukua, that is the socialization tumefanya, and the bigger part, in fact, is us women. It's the women si wenye ambao tumeikuza paka ikakuwa like that. So now the boy child akikua kishakuwa mkubwa anaichukulia, manake alifundishwa na mamake akamba mwanamume yuko hivi na mwanamke yuko hivi. So that is the worst we did for ourselves. But also when you look at the woman is for the kitchen. Why is it the home kitchen only? But if you look at these appointments, labda jobs zingine za kupika, they go for men. So is this man a woman? So if it's employment, is the man in the kitchen. But if it's the lady or the woman, is the lady is for the kitchen in the home. So we have also to we need to also redefine which kitchen is it, so that at least we go to the right platform. And when you said about the woman is only there to be seen and not to be heard, it's true, those things were there. Unfortunately, they're also there right now, but si kubwa hivyo kama vile ilikuwa zamani. We couldn't even stand up in seminars. We couldn't even give our own opinions. And sometimes I can say we also stigmatize ourselves, because looking at myself, I can share my own personal story. In the late 90s, in the late 2000s, when I was being given opportunity to attend maybe a workshop or what, I would always sit at the back. Why? Why do you have to sit at the back and there sits in front? And when you are supposed to share, or maybe you're given an opportunity to share, you don't share. You hide down. So sometimes it was only about us. But when we rise up and really rise up and say, this is a right, we can also have voices, I think we can make it. And I know that Mkombozi wa saa hii atakuwa youth, the youths who are coming up, they are really going to make very good changes into this, the female feminism or masculinity thing. We need a change. Thank you, James.
Thank you, Madam Anissa, for those insights. So it's through socialization that we are living in a patriarchal society whereby men have been given an upper hand. So we need to change that mindset. That's what Madam Anissa is telling us. So welcome back, Jacqueline. Paul, we had lost you for a moment, but welcome back. So you were saying that women have other opportunities apart from being in the kitchen before we lost you. So what are some of the opportunities or leadership opportunities that women should embrace or should take up going forward? Karibu, Jacqueline.
Thank you so much, James. And sorry, everyone, I just had a blackout in my area and my devices decided to go off. But I'm back. That is the best thing about COVID-19. It taught us about technology and the defaults that sometimes happen. But I've had Mamangu Anissa, she's around. I'm very happy to hear she's around, and I love the words that I've gotten her saying. So James, you're asking me about the opportunities that are there for our women, and I can already hear Mama Anissa talking about them. I mean, we have opportunities everywhere, and it begins, as I said, it begins from the household level. As a woman, as a sister, as a sibling, as a mother, you have the opportunity to lead in your own household first, by ensuring that even the girls inside the house are part of the decision making in the family, in the household. And it begins even in the kitchen. When you decide leo watu wanakula sima, that is already a decision that a woman has made. Because I normally say, since I was young, my mother used to, even if my dad would suggest leo watu wakule nyama, and my mom is the one to cook, and she decides sawa hiyo nyama italiwa na sima, that was already a decision that my mom has made. So she's already a decision maker in the household. So I don't know why that when it comes now to society, we tend to think that women can't lead. I think we can lead. It's just the beliefs that we have in culture. And culture is good. I don't say that culture is bad. Culture is good, that it gives us rules to be able to live into. But again, I think it's time that we stood up and decided that there is need for everyone to take part in the decision-making table, especially the woman and also the man. Because again, we cannot live behind the men. The men need to understand that even when a woman comes in part of the decision-making table, it's not that we want to take your place. It's just that we want to create a level ground for everyone so that no one feels threatened. Because again, if you're not going to empower the man to also understand why the woman is coming in, this is why we are also creating another big power imbalance that is now bringing in gender issues. Because again, as we're saying, we are in the election season, and I can see even in our different communities, when a woman maybe anasimamia UMCA na kuna, we have a man also, there's a lot of propaganda that comes out of the woman's side. I mean, why are we telling women ati ndia simame lazima awe ameolewa? Why do we use that against this woman? Why do we say ati Jackie is simama because she's young, but I can have a peer my age, a man who's as an aspirant who anataka kiti, but hata ulizwa zile maswali zenye Jackie ataulizwa. So I don't know why we always have that and we create that as a barrier for women. Why don't we see women? Why don't we see what they're bringing in on the table? Why don't we see the ideas that they have? Let's give them an opportunity. It might be their strategy is different, that it will help everyone. And again, as I say, there's a saying, James, that says, as you've given the African saying, but also there's a saying that in English that says, whenever one woman can change a whole nation, or when you educate one woman, she can change a whole community. It's because whenever a woman is educated, is empowered, she will make sure that the same empowerment is around her. The same people, even if it is her family, it should begin with the family. That's where the education will trickle down to, so that the whole community is educated. So for me, I would say our place can be in the kitchen, but again, our place can also be in part of the household, society, community, and the country at large, and even internationally, even globally. Because as again, you can see some of the nations that right now have women leaders, look at the difference that they're making. Look at the difference that they have done and the strategies that they have done when we were having COVID. Some of them have had better strides than some of our countries that have male leaders. And I'm not saying that to hate on the male leaders and say that maybe they didn't handle the situations well. But again, look at the strategies that the female leaders deployed when it came to handling COVID and all that, even handling the whole country and the economy at large. Look at some of the countries that are having female leadership, how they're doing even in terms of the economy. So for me, James, I would say let's give opportunity to women. Let also women ourselves, let's give each other opportunity also to grow. Because again, we also have I would say the age gap. Like Mama Anissa, she's older than me, she's a mother, she can give birth to me. I would want to see Mama Anissa model some of us now to take part even in decision making, because they've been there for a long time. Mama Anissa has been here advocating for human rights, for women's rights, even before me. So we have younger girls who are upcoming. And I love how Mama Anissa at times, she's always pushing us, even in meetings. She's always pushing our voices to be heard. Let's have more older women and elderly women push girls to speak up. For those that maybe their self-esteem bado iko chini, wanajaribu kutapatapa, trying to learn how it goes, how whatever happens, they also need to be pushed so that they're able to talk. Because some of them are they're fearful of maybe speaking in front of people like our elderlies, the older women, and even us Akina Jackie. Because again, also, for me, you'll find also there's some peers who would not want Jackie to speak in a meeting, or a younger maybe version of Jackie to speak in a meeting. So it's also for us women to give each other opportunities to speak up and teach each other, mentor each other. And that's how we are going to be able to bring up female and to promote female leadership. James.
Thank you, Jacqueline. So there's numerous opportunities which are there that women can embrace to take up leadership positions. Thank you for highlighting them. And just to put it out there that Muslim Women Advancement of Rights and Protection, our motto is that we educate women because it's smart, and we empower women because it changes the world. That's why we invest a lot in women. So because we believe that women have the power and they can transform societies. And by the way, Madam Anissa is not old. She's 16. She's very young. She's still sweet 16. She's wise, but she's not old. So, but we need to nurture more of her. And we are very grateful to her because she mentors other young people, both male and female, to take up leadership position. So as we are approaching the general election, and we have an officer from IBC here, Bwana Raymond Makazi. Probably, Bwana Raymond, you can just break it down. I'm catching you off guard, but you can break it down. Some of the positions that women can vie for, or leadership positions in the coming general election. Can you just highlight it for us, Bwana Raymond?
Thank you, James. I think this is a very healthy conversation, one that we should have more often. Elections coming up, whether the elections are coming up or not, I think at the end of the day, we really need to keep having this discussion. And then we also need to look at elections in a very broad-minded manner. Because, you know, when you talk of leadership in elections, most people just look at the 6 elective positions.
Yeah.
And which is true. The 6 elective positions, then we will have the presidential race, we have the gubernatorial race, we have the senatorial race. We also have the member of National Assembly race, we have the member of County Assembly race, and the one that is a preserve of also that is sort of like bridging the gap in female leadership is the member of county, woman member to the National Assembly. That is the one we usually call the woman rep. No, we have that as the 6 very common forms of leadership that we look at when we hear elections. But I tend to think that we have way more opportunity, or rather way more opportunities and platforms for leadership for women, just not restricted to the 6. I would like to look at it like this. When you sit down and look at the influencers that are engaged by the various political actors across the board, you'll find that a huge number, and I estimate around 60% plus, are women. Vikundi vya kina mama, you'll have a coordinator there campaigning for a particular candidate. And you know, that's leadership positions, just that now it's not positioned into the 6 elective positions, but it's a form of leadership that can also be exploited. Now, is it being done constructively to perhaps lead to some fruit, to lead to some fruits of this agenda? Perhaps our 2/3 pursuit of 2/3 model of leadership. That's another question, a discussion that we need to have going forward. But other than the presidential, the National Assembly, the governorship, or the senatorial, the woman rep, and the MCA position, we have way more opportunities that women can take part in elections. The campaigning is part of it. The officiating is part of it. The role of women in terms of monitoring and observation, that is part of it. You know, the election is a broad spectrum of activities that all require some leadership input for us to be able to make it a success. And I tend to think if we go that way, then the opportunities open up for a whole lot of people other than just the people running for the 6 elective positions. It becomes a wholesome picture that the society can contribute to. James, perhaps my contribution would be in that fashion.
Thank you very much, Ray. And thank you for reminding us there are numerous opportunities, not only the 6 elective positions, but there are other opportunities that women can take up leadership roles. And women are very good campaigners, by the way. And women turn out in large numbers to decide who is going to be voted for. Sisi wanaume, most of the time, we are just behind the queues. So thank you for highlighting that, Bwana Raymond Mukazi. So I would like to introduce our gender officer, Muslim Women Advancement of Rights, MWAP gender officer, who is Madam Umu from, she'll introduce herself. She's joining us from Lamu County. So as you're introducing yourself, Madam Umu, probably you can tell us what are some of the challenges, especially as a gender officer, that women face when they are taking up these leadership roles. So over to you, Madam Umu. Hello, Madam Umu, are you with us? Okay, probably nafikiri akona shida na connection. So we'll go back to you, Jackie. What are some of the challenges that women face when they try to ascend into leadership positions in the society, into in the general elections, into elective positions, even in nominations? Because when you're talking about the upcoming elections, most people, most youth, women and persons with disability, well, we are just waiting for nomination. To go party list to be nominated, but you don't vie for those opportunities. Are there any challenges that women face? Over to you, Jackie.
Thank you so much, James. I would say what I've observed currently, James, we have like 2 weeks, I think, for the nominations. I think most of the parties in 2 weeks are going to start conducting their nominations. And one thing I've observed, James, is that even in the parties that we have currently, as you've known, we have a new political party act that was amended by Parliament. And I've gone through it and I've seen there's a bit of gaps when it comes now to gender issues, especially women leadership, because again, we still don't have a good, I would call it a good framework of how also political parties need to create room for women, especially when it comes to the big decision-making tables. Because in most political parties, you'll see that, yes, women are very good chief campaigners, but what are they getting after that? Leave alone that, even in terms of positions, what positions are we giving for the women in the coalitions, in these major big coalitions that we have? How many slots do we have of women? Being in the big top cream coalition and to campaign for the party, but after that, they just be given small seats, like the women rep only. Women deserve to get the bigger cake also. As everyone is being shared the cake, also us, we need women to be given the bigger cake. Can we even have a political party give us what do we call it? The presidential run-up to be a female? Can we get the next deputy president to be female? Because, I mean, some of the political parties have started choosing, you can start hearing the counties. Yes, I'm happy, I'm excited that we have female governors going for the seat. But also you can see the type of attacks that they get when they're in their campaign grounds, even on social media. Even on Twitter, you can see how
they are attacked. The attacks that they're getting versus some people are bringing up pictures, trying to blackmail. It's not being attacked. Their families are being attacked. Oh, she has done this and this. These are some of the things, and I feel so bad sometimes when I see some of our female aspirants being going with this, because now that makes also some of us become fearful of even going for politics, because you think about it as Jackie. I'll go for politics. What will happen to my mom? What will happen to my brother? What will happen to somebody who wants to marry Jackie? For those that have husbands, their husbands are being attacked online right now. Some of them, even people didn't know them, because now they have decided they want to maybe go to become a governor. She wants to become maybe a women rep. Maybe she's going for a certain political party. Her pictures of her family are put on social media. She's being cyber bullied. She's being blackmailed. Even on the ground, you find that some of them, their teams, when they go on the ground, they're intimidated. Some of them are sexually harassed when they're on the ground. Now, when we go for nomination, some of them, they're scared that even when the voting will happen, the nominations, maybe certificates have already been given, because those are some of the rumors that are going on. Some of them are going for nominations with male, they're going to be versus male aspirants. Some of them have already started being told that the male aspirants have been given certificates even before the nomination has taken place. So that is very discouraging for these women. Again, financially, James, I've heard of some of the political parties, the amount of money they're requesting from the female aspirants. Yes, I know that is also for the men, but again, at least for the men, they can go to banks and ask for loans. Some of our female aspirants, some of them have dropped out currently. Right now, I'm from, I was in the community currently. I was having a different engagement. And some of the issues I've had is we had where I come from, in my area, we had a few female aspirants who are going for the MCS seat. And some of them have had to drop out because of the amount of money that they have to pay for a nomination. The nomination fee is 50,000. Where will a woman from Mashinani get 50,000 from? And you can hear some of the women were telling me today, this mama had very good manifestos. She could speak. She could be able to get votes, but she has had to drop out because of the nomination fee. She's not able to come up with 50,000 for the nomination. Leave alone that. I hear also there's also money that is supposed to be given out at a later stage. So financially, women are not able to meet the amount of money that the political parties want. Even membership, 20,000. A mere mama from the rural area, can she afford 20,000 to become a member of a political party so that she is able to negotiate for her to get a seat maybe at a later stage? She's not able. So these are some of the things that we are observing. Sexual harassment, even when people are going for the campaigns, women being pushed around, being touched inappropriately in the political rallies. That's another issue. The security of even a political aspirant. Aspirants are able to go for even rallies at night. Are female aspirants able to go for rallies at night? Because that's another issue. At home, is she given even permission by the family again? If she's married, will the husband accept that for her to go to seek votes also, to do door-to-door campaigning? That's another issue we need to look into. So those are some of the challenges, James, that I've seen. And I think we also need to now start speaking about it. Even as you're going to nominations, can we also start discussing about it? The security of our female leaders. Some of the nominations will happen, maybe the counting will take part even at night because of how sometimes things happen. Will our women be able to go and sit and wait and protect their votes for the female aspirant? Will they be able to sit in the polling stations and wait at night to protect their votes? That's another thing we need to now start thinking about.
Thank you very much, Jackie, for highlighting those challenges. And I agree with you. There are big concerns. And I can see also that you can also use the chat box as the webinar continues to share your ideas. They can see there are some chats here. Anissa is saying that women lack knowledge and information. That's another challenge also. And the lack of confidence. Some of them are Giamini. They can't believe that Anissa Kuap, the next president. And we have Jackie here from Kilifi County. She was Miss President. We have Madam Nadia, Cass Nadia, sorry. CS Nadia, she was from Miss President. and right now she's working for the government. And then gender discrimination, sexual and gender-based abuse that has been said by Jackie. Lack of financial resources is true. That's another challenge. There are real blockage. Gender stereotyping. Wanawake hawezi, women cannot lead. Women are supposed to be heard and not to be seen. Those are some of the challenges that women are facing. So before you go to, and then the issue of security, it's a big issue. And then before now you go to address those challenges, probably you can hear from the others. This is going to be an interactive webinar, not Jackie speaking alone. So we are joined by my brother, Mohammed Almas. Probably Almas, you can introduce yourself, can introduce yourself, and probably share a challenge or two that you think women face when they want to aspire for leadership positions. Karibu Almas.
Okay, thank you very much, James. And I've been listening keenly to what Jackie has been presenting. And yeah, it's clearly that the women, when it comes to the political field, they're in some way biased. And yeah, we have a long way to play because I would say one of the major challenges is the social norms that she has mentioned. I mean, the gender norms whereby you find that some things are limiting you, like having to seek consent, maybe from your husband, from your family, the issues to do with security. So yeah, clearly there's a lot we should also play as the community, while we also champion and advocate for policy changes. Thank you.
Asante sana, Almas. Almas is my brother, a good friend of mine. That's why I picked him up. And then when it comes to the issue of insecurity during elections, Ray, I'll give you a chance to talk about nominations, nomination fees later on, but thank you for putting out there on the chat, but I'll give you a chance to talk about it. When it comes to insecurity and violence during elections, you are told that the youth are the ones who are being at the forefront in causing havoc, causing attacks, and so on. So we have youth in this platform. We have Jonieri. Jonieri from Magarini. Why do you think are some of the causes of insecurity or violence during the electioneering period? Ni vitu gani ambavyo vinachangia ukosefu wa usalama wakati huu ambapo tunaelekea uchaguzi na wakati wa uchaguzi and even after uchaguzi? What's your take, John? Jonieri. Okay, so I'll go back to my brother Almas, who is also a youth here. Almas, what's your take? What are some of the causes of insecurity or violence during the electioneering period?
Okay, I would say that what really sparks this violence, which of course starts with hatred, it's because people have interests, from politicians to the citizens. Politicians want votes and they want to use any means to get those votes. And the citizens, they also have their interests. Some of them may be misguided, for instance, tokens, and there are also other groups that maybe have interests and they're trying to formalize it, maybe trying to come up with a memorandum of understanding with politicians so that they don't just support them. So usually in these fields, it is known that there's a habit of disappointing each other, people not sticking to their words. So at the end of it all, there's a lot of hatred, there's a lot of reason for hatred and, causing differences and havoc all over.
Thank you very much, Almas, for that. And okay, Jonieri is saying there's some technical hitch from his end, issues of connectivity, but feel free to use the chat box to share whatever ideas you have. And then apart from the issue of interest, looking back at Kenya, okay, Ray, your hand is up. Go ahead, Ray. Mm-hmm.
I wanted to say something about security.
Okay.
And this is something that I think you'll find me saying a lot during this electioneering period. And I think I have an insight into a formula that can help us with election security, especially post-election. The secret to this, I believe, is that once the process is transparent enough, we will not have violence. Because if we all appreciate the process as it starts, as it proceeds, and as it ends, we will all have the correct picture of whatever happened. And if there's anything that went amiss, we will all be able to appraise and come up with very clear strategies on how to build a better system. But the system as it is right now seems to be failing because of one small issue called participation. Everybody shies away from, most of us, shy away from politics, saying politics ni mchezo chafu. We leave it to other people to participate. People have found the formula of participating and benefiting from the process of politics and leadership. And my view on participation being the best solution to our security issues is, let us not have reported narratives. Let every youth, woman, every voter out there come out and participate in, first of all, registering. Let them come and inspect their vote, kwamba iko in the right place. Let them also come during wakati wa kupiga kura. Let them participate in voting and casting their vote. And let them participate in how we count, tally, and transmit. And eventually that final tally, everybody will have a clear picture of mimi station yangu had this, and these are the results in my station. If somebody says there was discrepancy here, I can keep track of the conversation. So I'll know who's telling me the truth and who is not. You know, once we have that down, we will not be easily incited. And should there be a discussion to be had, it will be a constructive one, not one that we take up arms, because most of the times when we rush to take up arms, we are not really informed of the facts. And there's a lot of miscommunication happening, and the violence becomes very easy to escalate. And insecurity then becomes the order of the day. But if everybody has the facts at hand, it's a conversation that we'll be having rather than conflict. Yeah. That's my question.
Asante sana, Ray. So miscommunication, misinformation at times raises the anxiety among citizens, and at times that anxiety can result into violence. However, it's good to get the right information and from the credible sources. So thank you very much for that. If I may go to my next question. I believe, Jackie, you're still with us. Yeah. So when violence occurs, it's women and children who are mostly affected, and probably to some extent persons with disability. So probably you can discuss that. What's the effect of violence when violence occurs during the electioneering period?
Yes, James, it is true. When violence occurs when it's time for elections, most people who suffer, the people who are vulnerable most, are women, girls, and especially people living with disability. And I wouldn't look at it gender-wise when it comes to people living with disability, but again, especially women and girls living with disability also. Because the moment violence begins, men will tend to go to war, they will tend to move out of their houses to try and protect the homesteads and the communities. The people left behind are always the women because of the children. So most of the time you'll find when the criminals, I would call them criminals, because when violence begins, everyone will take advantage. You'll find out even those that are not involved, even with the elections, they will come up and start conducting crimes that were even not part of the elections. So you will find even the existing gangs that were already there now will arise. Most people will start looting, they will go into homesteads, they will burn, they will destroy properties, and that's where now sexual-based violence will begin. sexual abuse will happen to our girls, to our children, to our mothers, to our sisters. So it is important that we ensure that no violence is triggered, because that will affect first our families, will affect our homestead, we will lose properties, and that means we'll even now have such things as rape. Rape will also now come up with HIV, STIs, pregnancies, unwanted pregnancies. That will also now bring up deaths also. So I feel like all of us as a community, we have a role to play to maintain peace within this time. Let's avoid hate speech. Let's avoid, when I talk of hate speech, I will talk about the biggest contributor of hate speech is tribalism. Currently, right now, we have not been seeing each other in tribal lenses. But as per now, we've already started hearing discussions going on of tribes. Right now, Jackie has now been seen as our Weru. She has now started being seen as a Kikuyu. I've started seeing the Kadzo as now a Mejikenda. So this now will now start us creating hate between each other. We are neighbors. We've been living in harmony. But right now we'll start seeing each other as enemies just because of the elections. And that now we'll start seeing, even the women will start seeing each other as, in terms of tribal lenses, not as women, not seeing that whenever we are perpetuating violence, promoting violence, that all of us will suffer as women, because the men will go trying to protect the communities. They will go try to fight. We're the ones who will be left behind with the homestead. And that's where now perpetrators will come in, and we're going to start having sexual-based violence happening. So for me right now, I would say let's all start preaching peace. Where we feel that maybe we are not seeing each other, or we're not seeing eye to eye, let's try and have sittings. Let's, as women, let's sit down, let's promote peace. Let's speak peace to our children, to our young people, because at the end of the day, even in our homestead, women are always listened to by their children. You'll find out we're the ones who are bringing up this gender and even the tribal lens to our children. Even the youngest children will start calling each other, huyu ni Mkikuyu, huyu ni Mchonyi, huyu ni Mrabai, huyu ni Mkabila Flani. It is us who are speaking those words to our children. And that's where it's all been brought up, it's being promoted. So let's maintain peace. Let's be careful of the words that we are bringing out in the community right now. I was talking to young people and I was telling them, even the youth leaders right now, we need to be very careful of even the jokes that we are making online right now. Even in the community, you might say something feeling that this is a very small thing, but the other person, how will the other person take it right now? How will Jackie take it when sahi unameka a joke unasema, Jackie wacha maneno mengi wewe, wajua nyi wa Kikuyu kila saa mwataka mulid. You know, you might say it as a joke. Me, Jackie, might take it as a joke. But the other young people seated around us, katika maskani, how will they feel about that statement that you have spoken? It might be somebody feel, tumekuwa unemployed because ya Wakikuyu. Tumekuwa unemployed because serikali imekuwa ikiraniwa na Wakikuyu. At the end of the day, pia mimi Jackie na hustle na nyinyi hapa nje. So hata ukisema atu Wakikuyu wamekuwa wakilid, bado tuna hustle pamoja. But you see, somebody else will take that will trigger pain on that person, and you do not know the next step that person will take as we're going on into elections. The same thing even with our aspirants. I was saying that it is important that even our aspirant be told, as we're doing our campaigns, can you give your manifestos, try and speak something that is sensible to the people? Can you stop this hate? Stop talking about the other aspirant. It does not matter where that aspirant comes from. It does not matter the race, the color that they have. Because again, we have started even using color. Oh, huu ni Mwarabu. Huu sijui anafawe 001. Huu afai kuwa huku. Huu ni mweupe, huu ni mweusi. Can we stop all that? That is cultivating a lot of hate speech. That is cultivating a lot of pain among us as young people, among us as women, among us, even the men, even our communities. The injustices that we are going through. Can we seek solutions as aspirants? Can the aspirant look for solution? But let it not use it to divide our community and even our people. So that is how we are. Let's avoid the triggers that are being observed, that are coming up right now to cultivate violence or to cultivate pain from our people.
Thank you very much, Jackie. Actually, you have taken us to the next step. What are we going to do? Especially, what's the role of women? And now that we have Mama Anissa here. Mama Anissa, what is the role of women in ensuring that we are going to have a peaceful election? We're not going to have a repeat of what we have been observing each and every 5 years during the elections, 2007, 2012, 2017. What role can women play to ensure that we are going to have a peaceful electioneering period? Yes, Mama Anissa.
I'm on transit and I can't hear you well right now.
Okay, sawa. Probably can use the chat box.
Can somebody else contribute, then I'll contribute later, please.
Okay, no problem. But you can also use the chat box to explain the role of women. I know each and every person has a role to play. Youth have a role to play. Men have a role to play. The government has a role to play. But what is the specific role that women should play to ensure that we're going to have a peaceful election? So, Raymond, is your hand up? Ama is from before? Or is it from before? Raymond, is your hand up?
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I forgot to put it down.
Oh, okay. But you can contribute to this. What is the role of women in promoting peace during this electioneering period?
Okay. Basically, I think, and my take is that they have the biggest role actually under that particular arrangement. When you talk of security, it is something that everybody's secure under their mother's arms. You get back home and you look at your mom and I'm safe here in this homestead. That's how people see it. I know security begins there. Security begins there in so many formats. First of all, how we address the issue of security to our youth, because they listen to their mothers, their sisters, their confidence. So the youth as a group needs to be addressed because they are the most incited group when it comes to election-related security issues. Second, we need to take command of the conversation and at the household level, be able to comfortably engage one another on issues security. Issues security as pertains to the election. Maybe the election conversation as a whole needs to be something that we can comfortably sit down at a dinner table and be able to engage constructively so that we get to inform one another of where the gaps are. Perhaps going forward, then it becomes very easy for everybody to be able to occupy their space in our pursuit of a perfect election. If we have more conversations about it, kama hii conversation yetu inaweza kuwa limited in terms of reach. But if we had conversations starting from the household level, then they would come to inform the larger platforms and we would get it right that way. Because we would have people participating with genuine concerns that come up that we can address, genuine approaches towards security. And also it brings up some kind of an early warning system that we can take advantage of. Like a mother can be able to detect that there's some incitements that have been made to a particular group because my son is reporting this or my daughter is reporting this. And they can bring it up from that household level to inform those security apparatus that are in charge of a particular issue. Or it could actually inform a particular process that is not going according to how it's supposed to go, so that we can rectify it before we get to a point where it turns into a security issue. And I think at that level, then we really need to take command of the conversations that are there, from the processes to the early warning systems to engaging our youth and informing them on their role in this election process, the women and their role in this election process. Because, you know, when you let them get relegated to the position of support, get me this number of voters, get me that kind of chama to back me. You know, end of the day, there's a lot that gets lost because we lose the leadership that person has, and perhaps we could have a better leader in that person who's doing the mobilization, and kwa sababu amekuwa relegated to a position of support, anakosa the opportunity. And some of these people, because they have the leadership in them, what we are missing is perhaps they do not know the formula or the processes of how to get to the ballot. They want to be leaders and they do not know. So once they are left out, there's genuine, like our brother Almas said, first of all, you get to an understanding with somebody and you support him, and afterwards, you get to a position where you feel let down, and out of that, the resentment, then other things escalate, and you get to a position of insecurity. And I think it's unfortunate, and it can be avoided, and we can take advantage of all these scenarios if we just command the conversation from the word go.
Thank you very much, Ray. So women involvement is key and crucial in each and every stage. And even in the UN resolution 1325, it recognizes that although women are victims of conflicts, they are normally sidelined in these negotiations and decision-making. Men are only the ones who are allowed to participate. So UN resolution 1325, as you said, Ray, women should be part of the process. Nothing for them without them. So it's very important for everybody to be involved in the decision making. So that's a key role to be played. So back to you, Jackie. We have talked about women and leadership and opportunities for them for promoting peace. And we are just keep on, what I can hear that women should be given a space. Women should be. So how can women claim that space? Because we are living in a competitive world. Nothing is going to be handed over on a silver platter. So how can women compete, or how can they claim that space? Over to you, Jackie. Jacqueline?
Yes, James, could you repeat your question?
Let me repeat my question. I'm saying, since we had this, we started the webinar today, we have been having discussions, and what I can hear is that women should be given, women should be. I want to hear from you, what should women do themselves to ensure that they claim those spaces, they claim those leadership spaces? If it's being the president, what should they do for them to get that space? Because it's not going to be handed over on a silver platter. We are living in a competitive world.
I agree, James. We're not going to be given in a silver platter. And I normally like one thing that our Excellency Uhuru normally says, our president, he says, power is never given, it's taken. That's normally what he says. So I think also for women, we need to tell each other, power has never been given, it's taken. I think it's time we take the mantle and decided to step on opportunities. And I think this is why even in the generation inequality that happened last year, we were being told it does not matter if they have decided they're not going to let you sit on the table. My friend, grab a chair and go on the table and sit. So I think that's already something that we're being told. It's not a matter of us being told that you need to be given a space. Go get your own chair, come, sit on the table. Let's hear what you have to bring on the table. Because again, that's very important. I think Mama Anissa said it earlier on. Women are being given opportunities to sit. And at times, sometimes we are fearful. Sometimes we feel intimidated. Sometimes we decide we're not going to talk the whole day inside a meeting. So it is time for us to take up the mantle, sit on the table, and bring something on this table. Speak something. Be eloquent. Give us clear points of what you're talking about. If you're fighting for human rights, what are you trying to tell us? Give us facts. So it is time also for us as women. We need to read. We need to be up to date on information. What is going on currently? What do we want to say? What are we trying to say? What are the solutions that we are bringing? Let's stop complaining also. We need to come up with solution. This is our issue. This is our agenda. This is what we want. And we are clearly stating this is what we need. And this is what we want. Again, we also need to now also learn to bring up more voices. How are we going to bring up more voices? Jackie needs to start mentoring other young Jackies. When I speak, I should not be speaking as me, as Jackie alone. I need to speak with other girls. So that's even the numbers are more. It does not seem as if it's an issue that is affecting me alone, but it's an issue affecting us as women and girls. So I also have a role as Jackie to play. How many girls am I mentoring on my spaces? How many girls am I bringing on board? How many girls am I teaching to speak? How many girls am I pulling in the decision-making table that I'm already on? How many girls am I also giving in other spaces? Because even right now, we have opportunities that are coming up that as Jackie cannot sit because of my age. We have the age group of 15 to 24. I need to start seeing how many girls can I bring on board on platforms where they need girls 15 to 24. That's how we are increasing more numbers of young girls who can speak up their mind, who can come and sit on the decision-making tables. But if we do not do that, we shall always have to say the same word James was talking about. We shall have, we shall create, we shall do what? No, we are bringing more girls on board. We are empowering girls to speak up. We are giving independent position, because again, the other issue that we have, James, is, and I feel is also happening in the political parties, we are giving women spaces or positions to speak, but they're not speaking independently. They are dependent of a man saying this so that she can say. We're giving positions to women, but still we are influencing the words or what the ideas that they're bringing on the table. Can we also stop doing that? Give women positions, but let them think independently. Let them make decisions independently. Because I've seen it even in the community. Mama anapewa cheo katika kamati ya miradi ya jamii katika baraza. Lakini utapata yule mama hata kama ni chair, bado wale wazee wenye wanakaa katika ile kamati ndio wanamwambia usiku, mama fulani, wajua kesho tuko na mkutano. Sasa pale chifu amesema hivi na hivi. Sasa wewe naenda ukaseme hivi na hivi. That is not, yes, we count that she's sitting on that decision-making table, but is she the one making the decision? Ama we have voices behind who are influencing that decision that she's making. It's the same thing in the political parties. Mama ameambiwa, yeye ndiye anakaa. She's seated as maybe SG in a political party. But at the end of the day, men are the ones calling shot behind. Wao ndo wanasema, aspirant fulani ndiye anafaa pushiwe, yeye ndiye apewe kiti. Mtu huyu ndiye anafaa apewe certificate. At the end of the day, it's not that woman who's making a decision. She's just the face of a woman making a decision, but in the end, she's not the one making the decision. It's the men still making the decision. So we need to be honest to ourselves as women, but also the people supporting and championing for women. Can we be honest? Let's give women space. Let's give them an opportunity. I normally say every single day, no one was born a fool. Everyone, even the smallest one, even the youngest, has their idea counts. We might be shocked that even the people that we're refusing to speak up, that the ones with the solutions of the problems that we have currently as a nation. There are people right now who are not speaking up, but when the day they will be given an opportunity to speak up, they're the ones with the solutions to the problems that we have as a nation and even as a country. So it is good for us to give everyone an opportunity to speak up. It is good that we protect everyone whenever they're speaking up. Let's protect them so that they're able to negotiate and to speak whatever that is on their mind.
Thank you very much, Jacqueline, for those powerful words. If I can go to the charts, I can see that Mama Anisa is saying women should stop being enablers or donors of insecurity, because at the end of the day, they will escalate and it will affect them. Then women should also show interest to claim their spaces. Women can also claim their spaces by showing interest or daring and grabbing those opportunities. And then, Madam Rahma is saying they should speak in numbers. By the way, Ray probably can share the statistics in another meeting, but I believe majority of the voters in Kenya are women. So they have the numbers. So if they decide to elect one of their own, they can elect them. So you should also mentor more young women like Jackie and others. And then those who are given spaces to sit on the table should not be puppets. So if women are getting, they get a space, as Jackie has elaborated, they should speak, and they should also raise an independent voice. And Mama Anisa is saying we should think not only outside the box, but think without the box. Why do we need the box anyway? What if what you want is not in the box? Thank you, Mama Anisa, for that. So we are reaching the end of our webinar. Towards the end, we are heading towards the end. And if I may just request our host to enable me share a screen, to share my screen. Madam Rahma, if I may share my screen, there's an image I want to portray, to project.
Okay, 1 minute.
Okay. So I've liked the discussion today. It's not like we are listening to only the panelists, but it's they're getting views from everybody who is in the webinar. So before we go to a round of closing remarks, I would like just to project my screen. Thank you for sharing. Just a minute. So are you able to see my screen?
Yes, James.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you very much. There is an organization in the USA. It's called Women Deliver. And from the research which they have done, they have come up with this image to summarize the importance of women in leadership, not only on issues or matters to do with peace, but on different aspects. So I'll quickly go through it. First of all, it's saying that if women are involved in peace agreements, or peace agreements are 35% more likely to last at least 15 years if women leaders are engaged in their creation and execution. And then secondly, countries with a greater proportion of women among the top decision makers in legislature have lower levels of income inequality. So this is a research which was done in the US, I believe. And in Kenya, in the judiciary, we have just had our CJ being the first woman to be the CJ. So we are looking forward to, I hope this will happen. We'll have lower levels of income inequality. But definitely the legislature cannot not work alone on this. It has to work with the other arms of government. And then countries with a greater share of women cabinet ministers exhibit greatest level of confidence in their national government. And then the other thing they found out in this research is increasing access to resources and women leadership in agriculture will increase agriculture yield by 20 to 30%. And the other key finding was that when women hold more executive leadership positions, their companies are profitable. Companies in the top quarter of gender diversity on executive teams are 21% more likely to outperform the national average. And we are grateful to MWAP that the leadership of MWAP is led by women. It's a women-led organization, and I believe will be successful 21 more times than the other organizations. And then lastly, when more women leaders are cabinet positions, there are trends towards increased spending on health services. So more resources will be allocated. This research found out that more resources will be allocated towards health services if more women hold up cabinet positions. And then lastly, women decision-making over land and household income improves access to education and healthcare for their families, because women know how to save. Anajua ata save wapi, tuhakikishe mtoto amesoma ama ameenda hospitali. So briefly, that was what I wanted to project as we head towards the end of our discussion. And here I would like to have a round of advice before, or somebody can say something, what they've learned, what they've experienced in this webinar, what they can contribute to ensure that our country heads towards a peaceful election, we can maintain peace in our country. So I'll just go around, probably starting with Almas. What is your take on this webinar, and how can we promote peace as you're heading towards the election?
Okay, what I would say is that, you know, women are very good advocates for social change, courtesy of their emotional strength. And what they need to do, they just need to support each other. They need to pull up resources. They need to stay vigilant together. If it is supporting a woman, maybe by being an observer in the party nominations, maybe being an agent during the general elections also, yeah, they need to support each other because they have the numbers. And, you know, when they unite in that way and the social impact is seen, then it also attracts other groups to even support them, because at the end of it all, the whole society needs development. So yeah, that's my takeaway.
So thank you very much, Mohammed, for Almasi, for that intake. Asante san. Raymond, what are your closing remarks? And probably you can also speak on the issue of nomination fees at this juncture. Over to you, Raymond.
Thank you, James. If I could start with the issue of nomination, we have two processes that are going to happen. That is, one is that all political parties are going to be conducting their nominations. That is what we call party primaries. And this is a process that, according to our conversation, then is another opportunity for ladies to come out and take advantage of, so they can come out as I was saying that if women can come up and take part in the process of nomination,
Raymond, I think we have lost you.
Can I share them?
Okay. Just a minute, Madam Anissa. Raymond, are you back, or should we give a chance to Madam Anissa?
Back.
Okay.
I just got a call interrupting me. So
okay.
Just a minute and a roundup. So I was saying we have that opportunity to take advantage of the nomination exercises that are there.
Yeah.
We also have another window for independent candidates where somebody feels that the party might disenfranchise them, then they can opt to go as independent candidates. That's also an option. And it's important to note that whereas the space and the nomination processes are conducted by the political parties, and they are guided by their own constitutions. When you come to the national our laws, according to the regulations that govern now candidates registration in IEBC, there is some affirmative action that I was trying to speak to in the charts. And I was trying to point out that to be able to encourage women to take up leadership roles, what the law has done is that they've given women, persons living with disabilities, and the youth an opportunity in terms of registration fees being halved for each elective position. Now, let's say we are talking of the presidential race. For the nomination fee, whereas any male counterpart of the age 35 and above pays 200,000 as a nomination, or rather registration fee, the rest of these groups that I've highlighted pay 100,000. When you come to the governor position, whereas the rest pay 50,000, women, persons living with disability, and youth pay half of that, that is 25. When it comes to the member of National Assembly, that is now both the senatorial, the woman rep, and the member of National Assembly, what we call MP, then a male candidate 35 and above then is able to pay, this is 20,000, and the youth, women, and persons living with disability pay 10,000. When it comes to MCA, again, we have a scenario where we are talking of 5,000 for 35 and above male, and the rest pay 2,500. Now, at the level of 2,500, 10,000, with a good support base, we can all be able to participate in the process if we plan ahead. You know, it's not like elections comes as a surprise. Now, if we are planning for to run for an elected position, we have to realize that we have to be deliberate about it. If you want to take up that space, we have to be deliberate in terms of, do we start early planning for this process, or do we get caught up in, I don't have 10,000 for registration as a candidate? You know, then it speaks to the seriousness of your intentions. And I think we need to have the conversation ongoing, not just leave it to until the election is just around the corner, because then most of the potential pool of women that we could bring on board, they get caught kind of like flat-footed in most cases. And then we get to be left at the masses of parties and other forms of engagements zenye zinaweza kuchukua advantage of that kind of scenario. But if you plan early, I believe with our legislation on election financing, we should be able to actually election campaign financing. We should be able to actually come up with effective methods to be able to fund campaigns and be able to run very effective campaigns without having to feel the pinch of the financial strain. My take on nomination and what I wanted to highlight is that, but I also wanted to say something else. And I keep saying this, James, let us engage. Let us participate. It's the only secret to getting a successful election 2022. Thank you, James.
Thank you very much, Ray. Thank you for that information on the issue of nomination fees. I believe, as Madam Rahma has put it on the chat, not so many people understand that. Nafikiri pia, it's very important to prepare early. If you women want to seek those positions, they should prepare early. Usingoje back at the last minute and then we start looking for resources. So we should plan early and support each other and continue participating in each and every opportunity. Thank you very much, Ray, for that. Mama Anissa, you had something to say. Over to you.
Yes, James.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, very loud and clear.
Yeah, I just want to make use of the kitchen. Because the women is told to be in the kitchen, I want them to cook something which is good and fresh. For a change, something which will also change Kenya. And in this, I want to dwell on three things. First, let us get out of misplaced priorities. What are the priorities as at now for women leadership? Is it to put on the dera and campaign? So let us look at our own priorities. The negative exposure we are getting from other leaders we know, female leaders, should we copy them? You ask yourself and say, no, I shouldn't copy them. I should go with my own, without the box. And the third one, do we have role model, political role model? As we look around, do we have them? And if we don't have them, then can we be one? So I think those three very beautiful points can change what is cooked in the kitchen. Thank you so much, James.
Thank you very much, Mama Anissa. I said Mama Anissa is wise. She has used the kitchen and she has bombed us, she has challenged us, and she has given us a way forward. Asante sana, Mama Anissa. So thank you very much for that. So Jacqueline, what are your closing remarks? Over to you, Jacqueline. Jacqueline? So as Jacqueline comes in, I want to say that this conversation, you can still follow it up on Facebook, on our Facebook page. Go to our Facebook page, Muslim Women Advancement of Rights and Protection. We normally record these webinars there. Like our page, and you can be able to get more discussions. You can continue the discussion even on the Facebook page, on the comment section, and we'll be able to continue this discussion because as Reyes said it, we need to have these discussions mara kwa mara so that it can continue to stick in our heads. So Mama Anis, Jacqueline, over to you. What are your closing remarks?
Thank you so much, James, for this very beautiful discussion and platform that we've been able to have today. And I'd like to thank everyone that was able to attend. I think it has been a very fruitful engagement. And I would really encourage that we have more of these discussions going on. Because I believe these are the discussion. This looks like a debrief we are having after we have observed what is going on in our communities and what we have been able to pick from our communities. So I'm grateful for having me today. I have learned a lot. I have been able to hear what is going on in the different areas and what can we be able to do as a community and even as youth leaders. So I am happy, and I would like to encourage every one of us to be able to encourage the aspirants that we have in our communities. And I know we all have a role to play in the coming election. So let us all play our role to maintain peace, because this is our nation and we all have a responsibility for this nation. The moment our nation goes into a crisis, we all are in a crisis. So let us all take up our tasks and maintain peace wherever you are, wherever you hear people are speaking about elections. Let's just ensure that we educate each other and share constructive information on elections, be it online, offline. And thank you so much. And everyone have a lovely evening. Asante sana, James. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Asante sana, Jacqueline. It's our great pleasure for you taking your time. I know you are a very busy person to be with us in this discussion. You're not taking it for granted. And may God give you that energy and spirit to continue talking to other young people and community members on issues to do with peace and also development. Asante sana, Jackie. So I'll give it up to our team lead at MWAP to wrap it up, to give us closing remarks. But before I do that, ningependa kusema, please go to our Facebook page. The webinar is there. You can also ask your friends to look at it later on. I believe they can learn something, one or two things out of it, and you can have interactions on their Facebook page. We're also on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Please like our pages and ask your friends to like our pages. Asanteni sana for taking your time. I've been your moderator, Bwana James Chapa. So over to you, Madam Rahma.
For me, thanks so much, James, for the wonderful moderation you've had today. I'd like to personally appreciate Ray, Jacqueline, Mama Anissa, and all the others, Almas, and everyone who participated in this webinar. It was personally a very informative session for me, myself, but also I'm sure for those who will be listening to it through our Facebook pages. There's so many things I have learned. For example, the issue of registration fees being halved. I personally I had no idea about that. So I'm sure that this is something we need to go back to our communities and explain to them, because sometimes when people hear that for you to buy, you need 50,000 registration fees, many people do not have that. But it's also the misinformation that people get from their fellow contestants being told that you have certain amount of money to pay for registration fees. So that way to reduce competition. I have several pickup issues from this as MWAP, and I'm sure we are going to work with everyone who has been engaged. Jacqueline, Ray, Madam Anissa, thanks so much for participating. The issue of, I remember I have highlighted in the chat box, one time Matiangi raised in, I don't know if it is on his social media pages or somewhere, but it was highlighted that they are going to provide security for the women aspirants in Lamu. We need to follow up on that, not only in Lamu, but I think in all the areas, especially those areas that are going to be marked as hotspot areas. We need to ensure that the security provides security for the women aspirants. This is something we need to pick it up very, very seriously because I know the issues of security, how it affects women. As we conclude, I want to urge all of us, as we go back to our constituents, let's have a very clear message on peace and participation. As Ray has said, when we participate, we avoid misinformation. If you are there during voting, during counting of the vote, or you are an observer and something comes up, you are able to explain rather than hearing from a third party. And we know that when information is spread, the processes of passing information from one person to another, there are additions and subtraction into the messages, which can create havoc. So my parting shot would be, as we all go back, we all have a role to play, and let's play it well. Thank you very much for participation, and God bless you, and looking forward to engaging all of you again.
Asanteni sana and kwaherini. God bless you all. Thank you very much. I beg to end the call.